The history of Rip Curl wetsuits is a long, successful and very colourful one. Born and bred in the chilly waters of Bells Beach, Rip Curl wetsuits are now available at surf stores right across the world. The Rip Curl wetsuits logo is a marker of tradition. It's also a mark of leadership and reliability. Rip Curl wetsuits are the most high performance and technical products on the market, made by surfers for surfers. Now, because they're such a technical product, they won't sell themselves, so the salesman, that's you, has a huge influence on the selling of a wetsuit. In many cases, customers are confused about the wetsuit section. Different brands, different styles of suits, different technical features, and you need to fully understand the product to be able to best help the customer make their choice. If you're confident with your product, it'll be easy for both you and them, and the sale is as good as made. If you're new to the wetsuit game, here's some basic information to help you understand how these puppies actually keep you warm and what some of the technical terms that get thrown around actually mean. Neoprene sponge is made when neoprene chips are mixed with rubber and a bunch of chemicals and baked under extreme heat. It's during this process that millions of tiny nitrogen bubbles are formed and fill the sponge, making it super lightweight and giving it the incredible insulation properties that it has. The neoprene sponge loaf is then sliced into sheets. It can be sliced as thin as 0.5 of a millimetre up to 10 millimetres thick. The thicker the neoprene sponge, the better insulation you have from the cold. The key factor in the warmth of the suit is how thick the neoprene is. When a wetsuit's referred to as a 4-3 or a 3-2, it means that it's made up of two thicknesses of neoprene. So a 4-3 is typically 3 millimetres in the arms and shoulders and 4 millimetres in the torso and legs, thinner where you need it most for extra paddling flexibility. Neoprene sponge by itself is very weak, but to give it more strength, either one or both sides of the neo sponge is laminated with a nylon jersey. When both sides have nylon jersey, it's called double-lined. If only one side has nylon jersey, it's single-lined. Single-line neoprene is also referred to as mesh or smooth skin. The advantage of single-line neoprene is that it sheds water and cuts down on wind chill. When nylon jersey is on the outside of your suit, it holds water, and when the wind blows on your suit, it causes wind chill. The downside to smooth skin, however, is it's a lot weaker and it's prone to tearing and cracking. Keeping as much cold water out as possible is the key to keeping warm. Sealed suits are those where all the seams on the wetsuit are sealed. When you hear the terms GB or GBS, it means the seams have been glued and blind stitched, allowing no water to leak through. The ends of neoprene are triple glued together to create the seal and then sewn for strength. The blind stitch does not penetrate all the way through the neoprene, only halfway, so the stitch holes are not letting water in. An unsealed suit uses a flat lock stitch which penetrates from one side of the neo to the other, allowing water to come through the holes. The key defining feature of a high-end wetsuit and a low-end wetsuit is the type of neoprene that's used. High-end wetsuits use super stretch neoprenes which are engineered to have maximum stretch and modulus. The modulus is the ease of which a neoprene stretches rather than how far it can stretch. And this is key as it means less resistance when paddling and moving. Extra flexibility and modulus in a neoprene is mostly a result of the jersey weave, which allows the actual neoprene sponge to attain a maximum stretch. Super stretch jerseys are knitted to allow a maximum 4-way stretch. Now these jerseys are expensive because of the materials used and the time needed to create the special weave. Figuring out which wetsuit a customer wants can be pretty confusing. So to make it simpler, all Rip Curl wetsuit styles have been broken down into 3 broad groups or segments: Ultimate, Core and Classic. You need to first decide which segment your customer fits into and then show them the appropriate suits within that segment. Ultimate wetsuits are for the customer that wants the very best wetsuit possible. They'll generally be a keen year-round surfer, but they could be anyone who isn't worried about the price and just wants the most technical product available. Core wetsuits are for the customer that wants the very best but maybe just can't afford it. They want a suit that has some of the key technical features of the ultimate category but in the mid-price range. Wetsuits in the classic segment are for the customer who's really budget conscious and wants a wettie from a leading brand, but isn't too concerned about technical features. Generally, they'll be an entry-level surfer or will not surf the whole year round.